Hit Season 2.
Ace match for KT versus Afreeca. It's going to be Leenock versus Curious going head-to-head to decide the fate of both Afreeca and KT and MVP.
This is pretty crazy. If KT loses this, I think the Leenock choice will, go down in Pro League history, at least to hardcore fans, as a huge mistake. It will perhaps take them, they will have to maybe play a best of 7 to decide if they can go to the finals of round 3. Losing this match, might take away their direct seed to go to China. And yeah, this is a risky choice. I feel like you have to argue for the Leenock choice after it's happened. Yes, it's not the choice I would have chosen, but they must have a reason. They must have a reason, because for me, I think the Curious pick, I know you and I don't agree on this 100%, but to me, the Curious pick is so obvious, I could see it from a mile away. And to use Leenock here, they must have a ZVZ build plan for Overgrowth. They sent Locira out instead of Leenock, so he must have prepared something specifically for the potential of this moment on Overgrowth. Last time Curious played the ZVZ on Overgrowth, not on Overgrowth, on New Gettysburg, in the Ace match, he had a great build plan. He won with it, and I have faith in Curious, but I don't want to take away the Leenock pick, because it must just be something that's beyond me. Some sort of killer ZVZ strat he's got for the map. Maybe he's killing it ZVZ in-house right now.
Overgrowth is a good Zerg map too, I guess, but do you really want to use someone like Leenock, who, by the way, we got the information that this is KT's first Zerg player that they put into an Ace match, which makes sense, because you've got Zest, but you also have Stats and TY, who are both not Zergs. Obviously, they're all not Zergs, so generally you're going to use one of those 3. But today they do put in Leenock, and I don't know, it's one of those things where sometimes teams also, they like to play players that haven't played yet. Their strats are hidden, I guess, right, for a certain matchup. You were talking about ZVZ, they probably predicted Curious as well to come out, and they're like, no, we want Leenock in there instead because we trusted ZVZ. Leenock recently also took out Cure in Pro League. That's right. Took that win,
most recent game, and that was a huge upset. Maybe that gives them some sort of faith here. But there was never going to be TY in the booth here on Overgrowth. So, a totally different matchup here. And my money's on Curious. Let's take a look at the votes in a second.
Let's take a look at the votes. Okay, everybody goes for Curious except Chaster. And it took me a while to think about this one. I'm like, there's a specific reason that Leenock is coming out, why they're using him for the ZVZ. But I still couldn't put my money on him. I had to go for Curious. Curious is looking too good. Guys, we're going to go into game number 5, the Ace match, Leenock versus Curious on Overgrowth. Down in the bottom left, it's Leenock.
And up on the top right, looking to do a 12 pull. It's his opponent, Curious. Putting it all on the line for the 12 pull here.
And we saw this work yesterday. I forget exactly who was playing. Biel against...
was it Departure? No, it wasn't. No, that was not that matchup. It was a different one. But anyway, we saw it yesterday. That's the key. Biel canceled his drone even. It was like a decision he made on the fly, and it was up against a double hatch before pool build. Yeah. I don't think Leenock will take that risk on this map.
He's also scouting.
Yeah. You could actually drone scout this early in Legacy of the Void. What if Leenock hatch blocks? That would be crazy. I'm like,
that would be insanity.
I'm like, I wouldn't put it past Leenock to do that, but it's obviously just going to be a scout here.
He goes for the hatch too, even as he sees the no hats there for Curious, no hats first. He didn't know the exact timing of the pool. So what he's going to do is immediately throw down his pool. He's not going to cancel a hatch or anything crazy like that. Just going to try to defend from here, and he should be able to. It's not going to be, you know, he's not going to hold it with flying colors, but this gives him a decent chance because he did go for that scout.
This is something actually, Artosis in particular is actually, I know he feels the most strong about this, like no one else has the same opinion about how this build, if you micro correctly and you don't do a crazy greedy build, will like never work versus a top player. Leenock is known for his micro in this matchup. He is incredibly well equipped to deal with a push like this, tech-wise, and just based on his talent and skills. So let's see how much Curious actually commits. I mean, he's actually dropping the Baneling nest down. I think he's going to go all the way. But if Leenock micros correctly, this should be a push that he can stop. He has the tools.
Well, he's going to start here. Nice micro so far. Hasn't lost. Okay, there we go. 1 kill. But nice micro pulling back the weakened drones, fighting straight up against those lings. He may not be able to hold this hatch. And, you know, the Koreans, they went kind of crazy when they saw that Leenock still put down the hatch anyway.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's like a bit strange about this. But he wants to buy time to get his own Baneling nest. He actually wants to hold this with his own Banelings. And he is still up 2 drones right now. This Queen, oh, this is not a good position to have his Lings in.
Oh,
this is bad.
he gets surrounded.
This is really bad. Queen's trying to come down. He really wants to hold this hatchery. Trying to kill the Baneling. He fails to do that as well.
And you know what? Even though he got trapped there, he takes a decent fight because it was in there. And oh, the Baneling comes forward and it gets a nice hit there. He's going to lose 1 Queen.
But Curious is kind of trickling a little bit slow here. He needs to pull up his units. He's going to go ahead and grab 4 Banelings right now. Leenock losing that Queen is a big problem. He's going to have 2 of his own Banelings. He doesn't have speed. And that's the biggest issue here. It's going to be hard to out-micro what Curious is doing, but he has a defender's advantage, and he has more larva. Not to mention the fact that he has a 2-drone lead. All he needs to do is micro his heart out here. The hatch is very low.
Oh, the Banelings, he explodes it, 2 for 2. Here comes more Banelings, trying to take that trade once again. The Queen goes down, but there's 2 more left over.
2 more. Remember, he has the better larva count here. He's even going to commit a few more resources to an extra Queen so he can continue to have like an even larger larva pool. He's making it at the natural, which is somewhat risky, but it's going to be ready to fight right up in the action. Once it happens, gets 2 more with this. 8 Lings about to pop out. Needs to make sure he does not get them on that Baneling. Okay. Baneling comes here into the main base.
And you know what? I mean, there are some weakened drones here as 2 Lings push forward, but not the best hit. It explodes on about 2 Lings, and that's about it. And you were talking about that the extra larva count. The Queen pops out, and I think he holds this.
It's also the defender's advantage he has. You know, his units come out immediately, whereas Curious is taking longer to go across the map. He's going to commit to the hatch. It has too much health, though. He can't quite kill it. Not with the army he has here. Is he going to go for it again? He could try to out-micro this. No, going for the Baneling target instead. Will get it, but it's a small victory here. Here come the rest of the Banes. He's going to go into the Bane with this. And Leenock misses the detonate. Hits those Lings. This could be a huge turnaround here in this game. Here come the Banelings. And they're going to get some drone damage done. Curious wants to maximize it. He's actually deciding to win the Ling fight, to win the game, instead of doing eco damage. These drones aren't mining anyways. Queen comes out here.
Oh, and he only gets 2 more drones over there.
But he still has a lot more Lings coming down. He's got triple the Ling count. This might be enough. Leenock's face. He knows he's lost it. He knows he's lost it. And this actually should be game here.
That's it, GG! Curious, he does it. He was the right choice. And he gets Afreeca into the playoffs with that win. You can see how happy he actually is. But just looking at his face, what a game.
Such a close game there. And Leenock taking bold decisions, relying on his micro there. And Curious never backed off. And then his beautiful choice to not detonate the Banelings, to secure the win with the Lings.
Yeah.
And so Leenock was already not mining with his drones because of that. So he was like, why would I ever detonate? Because in my mind, for this moment, they're already dead. And they're not mining anyways. And there you have it. So, with this win, the Afreeca Freaks will advance to the top 4, and MVP is eliminated.
Wow.
And there's a very high chance that Jin Air will take first place as a result as well.
It's crazy that Curious comes into a ZVZ Ace match and he he throws it all on the line. Their hopes of getting into these playoffs and the next playoffs, the grand playoffs, because don't forget there is one more spot. And if they can get into these playoffs and defeat CJ, who's already in that first Bronze Challenger match, they're probably going to have more points, and they're going to be able to get in, especially because they already got into one playoff. So, Afreeca, this was such a huge day for them, and Curious takes 2 wins. Don't forget that he defeated TY to make this possible in the first place. Then he comes out again and defeats Leenock. It's crazy.
Very well played by Curious. There are some rising stars in this tournament right here at the end, man. Curious, Gumiho, Alive, just to mention another player in this lineup. And the Zergs here for KT Rolster fall short, and Lucira's all in, and Leenock's defense. You can see just how upset Leenock was there. And the KT Rolster coach took a gamble here, and it didn't pay off. And to be totally honest, I personally would have much rather seen any of the normal trio we see, even TY. Even though it's like not a good map for Terran in a lot of ways, I would have rather seen him still. Stats and Zest,
I would have liked to see Stats. That would have been my choice. I'm like, throw him out there. He's so good against Zerg.